Okay, so I'm having trouble sleeping because it is gray and cold. It's either gray or dark all the time here on the East Coast, so I don't know when to be tired anymore. And people have popularly demanded, there's been popular demand for me to put up another web video. And by popular demand, I mean Anna and Liz and like maybe a couple other people, but I'm putting one up anyway. My friend Anna watched that show Skins, or like she made it through 5 minutes and then couldn't take it anymore. And since it's been like snowing and everybody's been like stuck inside, I like do what I always do when I'm stuck inside, which is like whip on my sweatpants, grab some Go Lean Crunch, and watch like tons of entertainment television. And they kept talking about this show Skins and how it's so racy and scandalous and oh my gosh, it's awful. It shouldn't be on TV. And Anna saw it and said it was like, oh, it was so stupid I couldn't get through 5 minutes. And so Anna, I decided to do a review of the show for you by watching the first episode, and guess what you missed? Nothing entertaining. It's a terrible show, and there's all this controversy, like people aren't going to advertise on it because they think it's so horrible and racy. And I'll say this, it would be shocking if they weren't so pretentious and over-the-top blatant with how racy they're being. Like, it's racy, but it's almost like, it's like stupid. Like, it's basically like girls are just grabbing their chest all the time and are just like, oh my gosh, are you guys ready to party? Because we're gonna like party. And then it's just like a girl like grabbing her chest like blatantly. So it's not even like it's having a negative influence. It's just kind of like who acts like that. That's the whole theme of the show for me. I was like, who ever acts like this ever? Like, even if you do drugs, have a lot of sex, do all these racy things, no one talks the way these people talk. No one acts the way these people act. It's really dumb. I wrote some notes. All right, so the show opens and it's like they're all suburban white kids. They're all suburban white kids, and there's like one Muslim kid, and that's it. And they're all rich, or it seems like it. Like no one seems that poor. So there's like a common non-diverse theme in the whole show. However, in the show, the first scene is this guy's little sister gets home from a night of being a prostitute. Like, this 13-year-old is like hooking all night, and so she comes home and he's doing Tai Chi for no reason whatsoever, and then basically she sneaks back in and his dad's running around. No one's got a shirt on. The boy doesn't have a shirt on. His dad doesn't have a shirt on. His dad's screaming for no reason. It's crazy. Then, you go on. This guy's just on his cell phone for like 10 minutes. Like, it's just a shot of him like calling his friends like, hey, let's get Stanley laid. We need to get my virgin friend Stanley laid. Capiche? And like that's the show for like 20 minutes is like him trying to get his friend laid. And Anna, my friend, mentioned this before she shut it off. And basically like they're just trying to get this virgin laid. And I mean, because I guess that's what you do in high school. I was too busy, I don't know, going through puberty and feeling awkward to pay attention to those things. But anyway, so he's calling and calling, and the only part that I feel is relatable in the entire episode comes at this part here, because you see some guy making out with a girl, and Tony, that's his, like, the main character's name, he's like, what's up, Chris, you still with Overbite? And the camera pans to this girl with this humongous overbite. That's like, it's actually really funny. But it's like taking over the world. It's like the biggest overbite ever. But that is the only part of the show that is relatable to teens, really, because, or that, like, you know, seems realistic, because people in high school have overbites or gaps in their teeth. We're all awkward. She was the only awkward-looking person in the entire show, so props to you, Overbite. You were the only part of the show I really liked. And so anyway, so Overbite has 2 seconds on screen, and you're like, ah, a real teenager, and then she goes away, and it's back to all these pretty people like, ah, we're teenagers, and we're so like every teenager in America. No, you're freaking not. You're not. This is the dumbest show ever. And so anyway, basically, that was gross. Basically, it goes on and on and on, and they're trying to get this kid laid. And by the way, the kid they're trying to get laid is, like, not awkward. None of these kids are, like, awkward looking. Like, it's supposed to be this guy that, who would ever want to sleep with him? I don't know. Like, people your age would, I guess. But, like, it's, nope, everybody looks beautiful. It's so stupid. And they're all, like, smoking pot blatantly in the bathroom. Like, oh, let's Febreze and then have edgy music in the background and talk about pot. Now we've got to go buy pot. Oh, yeah, because we are so hip and cool. 'Cause this is how they talk in it. And then, so anyway, like, Stanley, the guy that, like, you know, can't get anyone to sleep with him, so they are all, instead of going to class, they're all going to get this guy laid. Oh, and by the way, out of nowhere, in the middle of all this, some teacher is crying hysterically in a classroom, and then this guy, Chris, is like, I'll touch you in the shower, and she's like, could you? What? That doesn't make any sense. None of this makes sense. Then Tony, the guy who, like, the episode is focusing on, tries out for a Catholic schoolgirl choir practice, and it's stupid. Like, he's going to be in the all-girls chamber choir, because that makes sense, too. And anyway, so the Catholic schoolgirls are all tramps, of course. Every one of them is like, oh my god, let's do X, and we'll all bang you at once, because that's what teenagers all do. And I didn't sleep with anyone in high school. Did anyone else? Was anybody else going through puberty and feeling awkward and not dating in high school? Am I the only one? I prefer the show Freaks and Geeks. That show actually makes sense. This show didn't make any sense. It was stupid, and it was boring, and it sucked. But anyway, so Stanley goes and buys pot, and it's, like, at this big suburban house, and it's by some weird guy in, like, a tracksuit, and, like, but he's, like, weird, and he, like, grabs Stanley's balls for, like, oh, get me $900 and sew my pot, or I'll steal your balls. And, like, it's, like, he, like, runs, like, there's, like, two, like, burlesque or prostitute dancers or something in that. If this isn't making any sense to you, it didn't make any sense to me. I'm just telling you exactly what happens on the show. It is so stupid. And so anyway, so yeah, so they all go to this party, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's taking a bunch of pills, and they, like, drive a car into a lake. And then the episode's over, and it's like this season on Skins, it has a preview for, like, the whole season, and it's just like, oh, I'm pretentious. Oh, I'm pretentious too. Oh, I'm a lesbian, but women bore me. I'm so into myself. Grandma, when will I find a woman that doesn't bore me? And then Stanley's getting nailed by some redheaded chick, of course. Like, because all those redheaded chicks are crazy like that. They make the one redheaded chick girl in it like this crazy skank, of course. And it's like everybody's just kind of doing it, and they're like, oh my god, I want drugs. Oh my god, my mom, like, you know, I'm going to have an ecstasy party because my mom's on vacation. It's stupid. Don't watch it. That's my review. Did anybody watch the Jersey Shore tonight, though? Ronnie was crying like a little bitch. And Sam's crazy. Thoughts? Bye.